The dry season painted the Serenari savanna in blazing yellow. The sky was veiled in dust, the ground cracked, and the heat pressed down as if it wanted to burn every living thing. In this vast landscape, a female leopard named Sahara carried a heavy belly to fragile lives waiting to be born. Once a swift and deadly hunter, Sahara now struggled under her burden. Her speed was gone, her strength dwindled, yet hunger gnawed at her day and night. Still, the instinct of motherhood pushed her forward. Step after weary step, she searched, hoping for food to sustain herself and the cubs inside her. One scorching afternoon, the scent of fresh blood drifted through the air. Sahara followed it and soon spotted a massive male leopard, Kovu tearing into the flesh of a fallen antelope. Her stomach cramped with hunger, and recklessly she drew closer, praying for just a scrap. Kovu's growl erupted like thunder, his eyes burning with fury. To him, Sahara was an intruder, threatening both his territory and his meal. Sahara, trembling but desperate, advanced another step. In a blur, Kovu charged. His power was ferocious, like a storm striking down. Sahara tried to evade, but her heavy body betrayed her. Claws slashed across her flank and back, blood soaking her once golden fur. Roar of pain rang across the plains, a cry drowned out by the whistling dry wind. Beaten and bleeding, she turned and fled. Fear pounded in her chest as she ran, legs shaking, while Kovu coldly returned to his feast. Sahara ran until her body could carry her no further. She collapsed onto the cracked ground, each breath ragged, blood oozing from open wounds. Above her, vultures circled, waiting for her final breath. Dragging herself, she climbed a low mound, trying to escape their gaze. But then, violent contractions seized her belly. With agonized groans, she brought 2 cubs into the world, fragile and weak. Exhausted nearly to death, Sahara pulled the newborns close, giving them what little milk remained. Her eyes fluttered shut, yet her ears stayed open to every tiny cry. At dawn, she tried to rise. Her legs quivered and gave out, throwing her back to the dust. The cubs named Ao and Lani mewed weakly, seeking warmth against their mother's broken body. The wind blew cold, rattling through the dry grass, and Sahara could only lick her cubs gently, as if offering them her final love. By fate's mercy, Arun, a young ranger on patrol, spotted a strange figure on the mound. Lifting his binoculars, his heart clenched at the sight. A dying mother leopard. Wounds raw under the sun, with 2 tiny cubs pressed against her. He grabbed his radio, calling for urgent backup. Minutes stretched like hours until a pickup arrived, driven by his partner Mila, who carried a tranquilizer rifle and medical kit. Working together, they cautiously approached. The dart struck Sahara's shoulder. She let out a weak roar and slipped into unconsciousness. The cubs cried in fright, but were gently lifted into a wooden crate for safety. Sahara was laid onto a tarp and carried into the truck. With engines roaring, they sped toward the rescue station, their hearts heavy with worry. The veterinary team wasted no time. They disinfected deep gashes, drained pus, and cut away rotting flesh.
Vitals are dropping.
Intravenous fluids and antibiotics flowed into Sahara's weakened body. Meanwhile, Ao and Lani were fed milk, their tiny bodies warmed by blankets. The room was tense. Everyone watched Sahara's every breath, silently praying for survival. Through the long night, machines hummed, keeping life tethered. Then, at last, Sahara's eyes flickered open. Dazed, she saw her cubs safe. In that moment, a spark ignited within her. She fought to live. She accepted small pieces of meat, gaining back her strength.
There you go.
Each day, her fur regained its sheen. After 3 days, she stood, unsteady, but determined. Her gaze no longer hollow-eyed, glimmered with the will to protect her young. A week later, Sahara and her cubs were transferred to a semi-wild enclosure. The gate swung open, and she stepped into sunlight, releasing a soft, triumphant roar. Io and Lonnie bounded after her, clumsy but free. Arun, Mila, and the rangers watched from a distance, smiles breaking through tears. The sight of survival, of resilience, filled them with indescribable pride. Not long after, the day of release came. The pickup truck halted on the open plains. The door lifted, and Sahara leaped into the wild, her cubs scampering close behind. Under the endless sky, they vanished into freedom, shadows dancing in the golden grass. From afar, the rangers stood silently, hearts full. Nature had granted Sahara and her children a second chance. The fragile flame of life, once almost extinguished, now burned bright against the fierce African sun.